Welcome to this essential guide that could potentially put thousands of extra pounds in your pocket. If you're watching this video right now, you might be eligible for a substantial pension bonus of £2,991 in 2025. And yes, you heard that right. This isn't clickbait or a scam. This is about legitimate government benefits that many people don't even realize they're entitled to. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about this pension bonus, who qualifies, and most importantly, how to claim what's rightfully yours. Before we dive deep into the details, let me make something crystal clear. This bonus is part of a broader initiative to address historical pension disparities and ensure fair treatment for all retirees and soon-to-be retirees in the United Kingdom. The government has recognized that certain age groups have been disproportionately affected by various pension reforms over the decades, and this bonus is one way they're trying to make things right. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you heard older relatives or friends talk about missing out on pension benefits simply because they weren't aware they qualified? It happens more often than you might think. In fact, recent studies show that billions of pounds in pension benefits go unclaimed every single year in the UK. That's billions, with a B money, that should be in the pockets of hard-working people who've contributed to the system their entire lives. Now, let's talk about why this particular bonus is making headlines in 2025. The £2,991 figure isn't arbitrary. It's been carefully calculated based on historical pension contributions, inflation rates, and changes in living costs over the past several decades. This bonus is particularly relevant for people born within specific years, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. The roots of this bonus can be traced back to various pension reforms implemented between the 1970s and 1990s. During these decades, significant changes were made to the UK pension system, affecting different age groups in various ways. Some of these changes created unintended gaps in pension provision, which the government is now working to address. The 2025 bonus scheme is specifically designed to help bridge these gaps and ensure fairer treatment for all pensioners. One of the key factors that determines eligibility for this bonus is your birth year. The government has identified specific age cohorts who may have been disadvantaged by previous pension rules and changes. These are primarily people who were working during periods of significant pension reform and may have missed out on certain benefits or contributions due to the timing of these changes. Let's break down the specific birth years that could make you eligible for this bonus. If you were born between 1950 and 1970, you'll want to pay particularly close attention. This 20-year span encompasses a generation of workers who experienced multiple changes to pension rules during their working lives. However, the exact amount you might receive could vary depending on several factors, including your specific birth year within this range and your working history. The reason these particular birth years are significant is that people born during this period were working during crucial transitions in the UK pension system. They may have started their careers under one set of pension rules, only to have those rules change significantly during their working lives. This created situations where some people missed out on opportunities to maximize their pension benefits through no fault of their own. For those born in the early 1950s, you were likely just starting your career when major pension reforms were implemented in the 1970s. These reforms changed how pension contributions were calculated and credited, potentially affecting your long-term pension accumulation. If you fall into this category, you might be eligible for the full £2,991 bonus, as you're likely to have been most affected by these historical changes. Those born in the late 1950s and early 1960s faced a different set of challenges. You were establishing your careers during a period of significant economic transformation in the UK, with changes to employment patterns and pension provisions that may have impacted your ability to build up a full pension. The bonus scheme takes these factors into account, potentially providing you with compensation for these historical disadvantages. For those born in the mid to late 1960s, your working life likely began just as another wave of pension reforms was being implemented. These changes may have affected how your early career contributions were credited to your pension account, potentially leaving you at a disadvantage compared to both older and younger workers. The 2025 bonus scheme aims to address these disparities as well. But it's not just about when you were born. Your working history plays a crucial role too. The bonus takes into account factors such as gaps in employment, periods of part-time work, and career breaks for caring responsibilities. This is particularly important for women who may have taken time out of the workforce to raise children or care for elderly relatives, as these breaks can significantly impact pension accumulation. Let's talk about the specific factors that could affect your bonus amount. The first and most obvious is your contribution history to the national insurance system. The bonus scheme looks at your NI contribution record and identifies periods where you might have been disadvantaged by historical rules or changes. This includes times when you were working but perhaps not building up pension rights in the way that would be considered fair by today's standards. Another crucial factor is whether you've ever been contracted out of the State Earnings-Related Pension Scheme, SERPS, or its successor, the State Second Pension, S2P. If you were contracted out for certain periods, this could affect your bonus amount, as the scheme aims to compensate for any disadvantages that might have resulted from these arrangements. The bonus also takes into account any periods of unemployment or inability to work due to illness or disability. If you were unable to contribute to your pension during certain periods due to circumstances beyond your control, the bonus scheme may provide additional compensation to help make up for these gaps in your pension provision. For those who worked in industries that underwent significant changes or restructuring during their careers, there may be additional considerations. The bonus scheme recognizes that workers in certain sectors may have faced particular challenges in maintaining consistent pension contributions during periods of industrial change or economic upheaval. Now, let's address a question that many of you are probably asking: how do I know if I qualify? The first step is to check your birth year against the eligible range. If you were born between 1950 and 1970, you've cleared the first hurdle. However, there are other criteria that need to be met as well. To be eligible for the bonus, you must have made national insurance contributions for at least 10 years during your working life. These don't need to be consecutive years, but they do need to add up to a minimum of 10 years in total. This requirement ensures that the bonus goes to people who have made a significant contribution to the system over their working lives. You'll also need to be ordinarily resident in the UK to claim the bonus. This means that you must have your main home in the UK and spend most of your time here. There are some exceptions for people who live abroad but receive a UK state pension, but these are handled on a case-by-case basis. Another important eligibility criterion is that you must not have already received compensation for historical pension disadvantages through other schemes or settlements. The government wants to ensure that this bonus reaches those who haven't yet been compensated for past pension inequities.